How do you get your child to sleep at night? This is the elixir. This is kind of the ultimate kind of problem that all parents ask. Often get asked this very early on, soon after a child's born. How soon will my child sleep through? I'm going to try and make it as simple as possible. Sleeping is something that is learnt. Under the age of 4 months, your child relies on you to get them to sleep. After the age of 4 months, a child develops an adult sleeping program, an adult sleeping pattern, and it is a learnt experience. Your child has got to self-soothe. Your child has got to learn to put themselves to sleep. So from the age of 4 months to 6 months, a child is going to need at least 3 to 2 sleeps during the day, and that's where you start. Make sure you get your child to learn to fall asleep during the day. It's like a domino effect. Make sure that you remove all the props. That is you. No rocking, holding, being fed. Don't put your child to sleep in the kitchen and don't feed them in the bedroom. Don't use food, bottles, and other props to get your child to sleep. Every child is different. That so-called controlled crying method that a lot of parents fear. It's not that you're going to close the door, you're going to go out and let your child scream themselves to sleep. That's not a very good approach. The Australians did some research where they found that leaving a child with a controlled crying mechanism and method is something that's safe. It doesn't lead to psychiatric problems and so forth later on. I often joke and say to parents, you're the ones that's going to need the psychiatrist if you don't let your child and get your child to sleep. So I would suggest that you get a system in place really from 6 months. No child needs to be fed at night, doesn't need a bottle, doesn't need any food. Start off with the sleeps during the day. So from 6 months, a child needs 2 sleeps. Make sure that they're not completely asleep. Make sure that they're not half asleep in your arms. They must go to bed, put their pajamas on. It conditions them. Put them down in a dark room so you can't even see your hand in front of your eyes. They need to be put down. Maybe you sit down with a bit of a book or your phone. You kind of put them down. Don't talk to them. Don't read to them. Don't pat them. Don't give them a dummy. You sit. And they've got to learn to self-soothe and put themselves to sleep. Once you get the first and the second sleep during the day from the age of 6 months, then start to deal with the night time. Don't blame teething. It's not the cause of poor sleeping. And parents often see children fiddling with their ears. They blame the ears as a problem. That's not necessarily the case. You know, children are sometimes anxious and it's going to take some time. But the way you get your child to sleep is allowing themselves. Don't rely on other kind of props. If you persist, it's going to take months to get to the point where your child will start to fall asleep. Get them to fall asleep in their own cot, their own camp cot, their own crib. It's not a good thing to have them sleeping in the bed with you because it disrupts sleep, and everybody needs their sleep, particularly in this period where people are working from home, they're stressed, they're anxious. So, you know, getting your child to sleep, there are ways to unhinge and dissociate the eating and the drinking. Children who have difficulty, I find, eating often have sleeping problems, so they drink. They've got drinking problems. Don't use food at night. It can cause dental problems, ear problems, and of course nutritional problems. Make sure that you get help with your spouse and your partner. You've got to be reading from the same hymn sheet. Both of you have got to be on the same page. Your child's got to get used to both of you putting them to sleep. And remember, once you have the daytime sorted, then tackle the evening. Put your child to sleep at a certain time after a bath with a routine. And if you find your child is not able to fall asleep immediately, have that chair next to the room, in the room next to the bed. And then move it slowly and slowly further away from the bed until your child is used to you being there but not there. And this is an approach that I find very, very useful. But the most important is that you need to have intent, you need to be on the same page, and don't try and use sedatives, antihistamines, allergics, stopain, medications. It's not safe. Deal with the problem early. It's probably the most important investment in your mental health.